Hello everyone, good day to you. This is an unscheduled recording. I was reading through your comments and decided to make a video on the topic of intention. In the previous video, I gave a small life hack about how we can work through negative moments in our daily life. Some people wrote comments, and more than one person said something similar, so I thought I should emphasize this point. I also know that many people think in a similar way, or they believe that a certain kind of event pattern is normal, or that it represents some alternate scenario. Let me explain what I mean. Someone asked if what I suggested is just a way of devaluing the event or something like that. But when I gave the example with the traffic jam, I said there are two possible ways. We can either think everything will be bad and picture a negative reality, or we can start instead of envisioning a positive outcome. Before, I had encountered someone who didn't agree with me, who said that for them, everything works the other way around. This person said that if they think positively and tell themselves they will arrive on time, that everything will be wonderful, no traffic jams, and all is good, it somehow ends up the opposite. Instead, they get stuck in a massive traffic jam, fail to arrive on time, get frustrated, panic, and start yelling. On the other hand, if they leave the house having already worked themselves up with the worst expectations, telling themselves that there will definitely be a terrible jam and things will go badly, then it turns out that they encounter no traffic jam and everything goes smoothly. They wondered why it happens that way. Many of you might have already guessed. Because the reason is that the person is not in control of their own reality at all, and that someone else is managing it. In other words, the person has handed over their reality to some external force that has placed them into the matrix. The matrix then sets up situations. When a person stays positive and believes that all will be well, the matrix creates a negative event like a traffic jam to squeeze out negative emotional energy. You see, it's not the person shaping reality, it's the matrix manipulating them. By provoking them into frustration, the matrix extracts that negative emotional energy, and after collecting what it needs, it leaves the person with a bad mood so they can't continue producing more of that energy later. In the opposite scenario, when the person has already worked themselves into a negative emotional state in advance, anticipating how awful everything will be, dwelling on all possible bad outcomes before even leaving home, they generate a huge amount of negativity right then and there. The matrix feeds on that energy immediately, without having to create an unpleasant event on the road. After all, if it has already received the supply of negative energy, why bother spending extra effort creating actual problems? This shows that when someone experiences things working in reverse, that thinking positively leads to bad results and expecting the worst leads to a smooth path. It means they are not the ones shaping their own reality. Instead, they serve as a battery for the matrix which extracts their energy either way, whether by disappointing them after their positive expectations or by letting them stew in negativity beforehand and thus gain nothing from producing actual obstacles. This is not how real intention works, and it certainly isn't a sign that you are effectively managing your reality. If you think such scenarios are normal or fit into some concept of intention, you are mistaken. The truth is that this is a clear sign that you are not influencing your reality at all. Real creation of reality would mean that if you set a positive intention, you would see a corresponding positive manifestation, not the opposite. If it is reversed, with positive thoughts yielding negative outcomes and negative expectations somehow warding off problems, it means you're just feeding a system that siphons off your emotional energy. Once you realize this, you see the extent of the manipulation. It is constant day and night, extracting large amounts of your energy from even the smallest everyday moments. When you understand this is not normal, that it is actually the matrix controlling your experiences, you can start to recognize the difference between genuinely shaping your reality and simply being harvested for your energy. Some of you have asked me to talk about intentions and how to work with reality. I certainly plan to touch on the subject of intention and the management of reality. I have worked with intention for a very long time, since about the age of 18 when I began to see how to direct energy, what I call chaos, meaning the raw energetic matter that flows all around us, and how to give it form and direction. However, I've held back on fully discussing this because many people still have mental and energetic blocks placed by the system. To manage reality through intention effectively, you must first remove these systemic blockages and free your consciousness from the programming. Those who already know how to work with intention might find it easier to understand the nuances, and for them, when I talk about intention in detail, it will be more about fine-tuning their skills. But for beginners who do not know how to do this yet, it may be confusing if they are still trapped by these internal blocks. Some people say what I describe resembles what Vadim Zeland talks about. I have not read Zeland myself, but I know from others that what he says about working with reality and using intention aligns somewhat with what I teach. However, I am told that Zeland calls everything an egregore or refers to them as pendulums, mixing them all together into one category. This is not exactly correct, because I have explained previously that there is a difference between an egregore and an energy information field. If an egregore is a kind of systems structure designed to extract energy, an energy information field is a natural formation. Zeland seems to mix them, calling all sorts of fields pendulums. Still, people who read him might learn some valuable basics about intention. Just remember to filter any information you encounter, whether it comes from me, from Zeland, or anyone else. Trust your inner sense. The system often blends truth with falsehood to confuse you, and it's important to maintain discernment. I am not saying Zeland is deceiving anyone, just that he presents a certain perspective. In fact, I respect him a lot because in such a controlled environment, he managed to figure out that one can shape their reality and teach others how to do it too. That takes skill and courage, and it has helped many people realize that they can influence their own circumstances. Perhaps one day I might read his works to see exactly how he explains things. For now, if you are interested, you can read Zeland's books to get a preliminary understanding. Just remember that when it comes to egregores, fields, and other concepts, he may not distinguish them as I do. Filter the information and try to align it with your inner understanding. When we eventually discuss intention here in detail, those who have already studied this topic, whether through their own experience or through Zeland's writings, may find it easier to comprehend what I am describing. Now, returning to our original example, the situation where positive thoughts lead to bad outcomes and negative expectations prevent them is not an example of properly working with intention. It is an example that the matrix is controlling your reality to extract your energy. This extraction happens all the time, often in small, subtle ways. Our everyday lives are composed of many small moments, like tiny coins that add up to a large sum. When you become aware that these little details are constantly feeding the system, you stop being fooled by it. Understand what is happening, and do not think that by expecting something awful in advance and then not encountering it, you got ahead of the game. All you did was pay the matrix in advance, so it did not need to spend energy manifesting trouble at that exact moment. When you anticipate negative scenarios, even those that never occur, you are effectively giving permission to the matrix to use them against you later. It is like signing a stack of blank agreements, saying, wise. If necessary, you can use this scenario on me. Even though it did not happen today, it remains an available algorithm for the matrix to employ whenever it sees fit so that it can extract more of your energy. Nothing goes to waste. Just because a scenario did not unfold now does not mean it won't be used in the future. The complexity and confusion are intentional, designed to prevent you from seeing the truth, which is actually quite simple. When you become aware of this process, you begin to break free of the Matrix's manipulations. I know I said I would keep it short, but as usual, I ended up talking much longer. I hope these explanations help you understand what is really happening when your positive ideas are met with negative outcomes or when your negative expectations seem to prevent problems. Recognize that if this reversal is occurring, it means someone else is in charge of your reality, and you are continuously providing the energy they want. By understanding this, you will not mistake it for real intention work. Real intention work is about you shaping your world, not you being exploited for your emotional energy. Stay positive, stay aware, and understand that these patterns are not random. They exist so that the matrix and its operators can feed on your energy. With this awareness, I hope you will take steps toward freeing yourself. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel. Become a member of my Telegram channel and discuss with like-minded people as a supporting club member.